Okay, hello there. So we are going to talk about or discuss and show how to more or less do energy projection for just practicing your external energy work, or for healing other people, for healing yourself, self. So just kind of learning that next level and next step. So here we have a basic human in a meditational position. Don't worry about the awkward arm position. It would just kind of be like natural, as in letting your arms or your elbows sit naturally, and just having a position where you're sitting down however you want, but your hands are a little bit apart. I would say it's kind of like you're holding a small ball. So yeah, I hope you understand what I mean by that. So they're kind of, how would it be? They're like facing each other, just in a natural position that works for you. Now, usually in an energy meditation, you start at the navel center. For example, you start there, and the navel is kind of your main center of volatile energy, as in you've just got lots of heat, lots of power there. There are other ones like the upper kind of navel center, which is in between the kidneys, kind of around here. I did a write-up on it on the blog, which is more of a quick energy center, while the lower is more of a storage. So usually you start here at the navel, you kind of go inward towards your back, so it's in the center. And you should feel warmth. If you rest your focus here, you should feel nice and warm. Then all you really want to do is just circulate it throughout your body, as you see with these blue lines. The center here is kind of around the in between like the shoulders, so to speak. It's more or less just to show that there is an area which kind of comes out from towards the arms. The one in the head is relatively important as well. This helps you focus, so it's good to circulate to your head, through your legs, your arms, and the hands have centers here, the palms. That's because we're going to be using projections. That's why I've drawn them here. So more or less just get your energy through your body. So start at the navel and pull it out throughout your whole body. Fairly simple, and you'll feel good. You'll feel a little bit warm. You'll feel the energy feeling. Okay. So now that we have the energy throughout the body, what you want to do is usually you continue circulating it through the body while you do this, if you're a little more advanced and you know how to. But you also focus kind of around your hands, around your palms, but around the whole hand, and pull out from the hand, pull out the energy, so that it's like a very subtle sensation. Currently I'm doing it right now. You're pulling out from around the palm area into the middle between the hands, and that's a little bit awkward at first, because it's like, how do you feel outside of your body? Well, that's partly that's what we're learning. Actually, it's a skill that you just learn through doing this. One way to think about it is to feel like you're holding a small ball. Maybe it's around 25 centimeters across. If you're in inches, I would say, I think like 10 inches maybe across. And you just want to pull out the energy to that location. You can also feel like from your whole body, from your navel, you're kind of pulling it out to that location, And then you also want to create kind of like a magnetic field, so to speak, or like a stasis field or something, where you're keeping the energy in this location. Hence why I say feel like you're kind of creating a ball, or you're holding a ball. And you want to just keep doing this. You want to do it not too strongly, not too tensed, because what happens is you run out of energy. You ultimately, you're going to run out of energy in like 10, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how much reserves you have. And you'll feel first, usually your legs, you'll feel your legs will start running out of energy. And yeah, so you don't want to do it too strong, but it's just kind of like the nature of how it is. Usually you want to do it kind of soft enough that you just feel the sensations. You start feeling warmth, and that's a major one. You will start feeling natural warmth build up in this area. You can get another person to feel it, or you can also quickly stop doing it with one of your hands and kind of feel in the middle, and it will feel a bit warm. It will feel a bit interesting within there. So that's here we go. We got a little animation or a little picture. See this? It's a different color, the yellow. So it's kind of like a yellow in there. Depending on how strong it is, you may see some flickers of light, or you may see something. Now this isn't using mental energy. Just say if you imagined a sphere in three-dimensional space, you will actually see this weird mental, I think of it as like magical light or mana light or something. It's like a weird staticky light that you can get to appear within three-dimensional space if you imagine objects, usually light, objects made out of light, but you can just imagine objects or even focus on objects. Another way is you can kind of relax your eyes and like enhance them so you get more energy in there, and that gives you a little bit more energy sense. But you don't need to see it, you just need to feel the energy. And you want to do this, you want to keep practicing this, like do it maybe every night, for example, if you want to get good at this, because you'll notice after maybe 5-10 minutes, depending on your capabilities, is that your hands start to feel a bit uncomfortable. I believe it's nerves in them. The nerves will feel a bit weird because it is technically, I guess, like an ionic thing, or I guess it would be, say, using the nerves as like a transport mechanism for the electromagnetic energy or something like that. So after doing it a few days, maybe a week, you won't really get that, and your nerves or whatever it is will be much stronger, and you won't get that. It's like a buzzing, like mildly discomfortable sensation. Of course, it goes away after like a minute. It's kind of like if you do exercise, your muscles will get sore, your tendons will get sore, etc. Sometimes even the bones. It's a similar thing where this is kind of more like a nervous system exercise, I guess you could say. So yeah, practice that, and get the warm, nice sensations. As I said, it's basically just like holding a ball, or pulling out. That word seems to really work. The idea of pulling out, not pushing out, but pulling out, drawing out from your hands, but also because you're circulating to your whole body, you don't really have to draw it from the navel, but because you're already kind of doing it, you're circulating it. So yeah, I just sit circulating energy and also creating that like pressure sphere, so to speak. Well, not really too pressured, but it's kind of like a mild field, a mild like pressure, and I want to contain it a little bit. But of course, as I said, you don't want to do it too strongly because you'll exhaust yourself. So find the level at which you can circulate energy, and find the level at which you can do the sphere exercises, the energy sphere exercise, without exhausting yourself. Try to do it for as long as you can, like 10-20 minutes. That's pretty good. If you get to 30 minutes, you've basically mastered it. That's without like your legs. I mean, if by that time, 30 minutes, your legs start to get like you don't have much energy into them, then that's fine. But if you go too overboard, you don't want to keep doing it while your legs have not much energy in them. So as I said, you'll feel it where your legs get out of energy. That's when you usually want to stop, after like maybe 5, 10, 15, whatever minutes it is for you. Next, on to the next one. So that was seated. Can do it standing. So we have our little happy potato man here. Okay, so the first one, as we see here, it's a new color. It doesn't matter. It's just for sake of reference. We have the person standing. This is how the energy flow usually looks in a basic way. Now his arms are just, the shoulders are relaxed, so they're just down, relaxed, and that the forearms are up and the palms are facing forward. You can also face the palms toward each other, as we did in the other one. This, if you want to make the energy ball, is fine. Standing up is different than sitting. It's good to practice standing up as well, because it helps you to do it more in a real life situation. For example, if to be honest, if you do sit and you do that exercise every day, you are just going to be able to do it, just say on another person if you need to, in a maybe emergency situation, or just for fun or whatever. But it is good to learn standing, because it's a bit of a different game. It's difficult to stand for long periods of time and to circulate energy. Of course, standing and doing energy circulation is a good exercise. They call it zhong, I think, Zhong, in the Chinese Taoist tradition, or I think it might be Taoist tradition, or martial arts, I'm not sure. Anyway, next exercise is actually to do projection of energy. So it's simply just pushing forward, drawing it out forward, and trying to push and trying to draw it out and project it as far as you can. Now I'm currently, funny enough, I feel it's cold energy when I push it out. Maybe it's to do with the electronics right near me, but man, that was just chilly actually. Maybe I used a little too much energy, I'm not sure, but I was just doing it then and it was very cold. Yeah, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. It can actually depend on your disposition. That's why they call it Reiki in Japanese, which means cold air, or technically not air, technically ki is it's related to air, it's a component of air, you could say. But you could also say Reiki, and I don't know if it would be like Atsui ki or something, hot ki, or I swear there's a simpler word for hot, but whatever. So here is a picture. Now it doesn't actually look like this. This one's a little bit, it's more of an informative picture to show that, look, this potato man is pushing them forward, and it gives you like kind of like a geometrical, technically it looks like it's pushing it downwards. Don't mind that, it's just to give a little explanation. So it's the same thing with making a sphere, except you can think that the negative aspect of it is the containment, the geometry. This is the magnetism, while the positive aspect is the giving of the energy. So you're expanding and pushing, you're pushing out and releasing energy, but you're also controlling the shape. Now again, that's going to be very weird and very awkward to do until you've done it a lot. To be completely honest, it took me like 2 years to understand how to kind of get to the basics of forming geometry with spiritual energy. But I think you can do it a lot quicker, especially since it's kind of like, just say if one person could do something, it's quicker for everyone else. It's just a weird human thing, because it's like, excuse me, we're kind of connected in a subconscious way. So anyway, excuse me, I drew another picture. Got some gas anyway coming out of my mouth. Not the other way around. It's there again. It's like a hiccup. Anyway, here's another way I drew it, maybe for people who like waves. Again, it isn't lines, it isn't waves. It's more like fluffy, like a field of fluffy cotton candy made out of energy. But maybe it's different for you. I don't know. Yeah, we're all different elementally. I'm kind of more. I guess I'm a bit watery. My spiritual energy is kind of more watery. It's like some other things as well. So it's like a light water for me. So it's more like just you see these blue things. It's like a big blue blob of cotton candy that just projects out, I guess, or a little bit like air as well. But these are just to give you ideas of like movement. So yeah, you can see it's kind of like, ooh, look at that, isn't that cool? It's like an electromagnetic field now. Anyway, just give that a shot. You can pick objects to focus on, or you can just kind of do it in the air. Maybe if you get strong enough that there's something weird will happen, you push over an object. I don't know, I'm still trying to work that stuff out. But this is kind of how you would, for example, use it in a, I'm going to use this word very carefully, but a medical sense. Of course, this is you all know, it's not exactly a common medical practice or anything. It's more of like a martial arts kind of healing practice. So just say if you had someone who had like a sore ankle or knee or whatever, or pained arm, you can of course ask them if they want some help, and then project, or you put your hands on the part, or just kind of hover it above, and again use this energy projection, as we see with Potato Man here. He's circulating his energy nice and well throughout the whole body. Technically it would be like an aura. So if we kind of like my bad, it would kind of be more like an aura of energy eventually, but those are the main circulatory vessels. So yeah, it'd be like this, circulating the whole energy, and then it would be let me get a nice color here, and then it'd just be projecting out. Of course, you want to make it more focused and such, because you don't want to waste energy. It's actually uses a lot of energy, and maybe if you're new at this, you might only have like a minute or two of gas in the tank, and then you kind of get to like 5 minutes or whatever, and then 10, etc. But so hopefully that helped. Learn to make the sphere first. To make, as I said again, the positive and negative is pulling out the energy. The actual energy is kind of the positive aspect. Forming it and keeping it contained in that sphere shape is the negative, or the magnetic aspect. And then you just have to learn to project it out and to project it far and do all that stuff. So just excuse me, just keep practicing, and that's the main thing, is to practice and then practice some more, and you'll feel it day after day. You feel a little more, feel a little better, and it'll become a little more obvious and a little more evident as to how it works. So I hope you enjoyed that, and goodbye.